Hello and welcome to this week's Wild Spirits News. I'm Sibylle and today's subject is start a perfect day with a morning routine. Have you ever had a dream that kind of set the mood for the entire day? I know I have sometimes had, for example, a bad dream or a nightmare that would really, I'd feel really emotionally affected, and for the entire day I kind of felt a little subdued or sad. So this can sometimes, it can happen in a positive way as well. But a lot of people say that the word morning routine sounds a bit boring and a bit set in your ways and all this. But the fact is that it is a way of setting yourself up for a day in the way that you choose and that you want to, so that you're not subject to something like a dream, and that you're not subject to your moods, and your moods are not subject to circumstances or to things that just happened or to other people. A lot of people now will say, I don't have time for a morning routine, I'm really rushed in the mornings. But there are ways of tailoring a morning routine and also tailoring your schedule so that this whole thing fits. And so your mission today is to find a perfect morning routine for you and then to implement it into your personal schedule. Task number 1 is called Find the Perfect Morning Routine. There are so many things that you can do as part of a morning routine. Just brainstorm a little bit, but I'll also give you some suggestions. So your task is to get a piece of paper or open a Word document. So please do this right now. Don't think you'll do it later, you won't. If you have to, pause the video for a moment and get something to write. Okay, I'm assuming that you have something to write now. And I want you to write down what you would like as part of your morning routine. And in order to jog your memory, I'm going to give you a few suggestions. You could do journaling or write morning pages. It would go beyond the scope of this video to explain all of this to you, but Google morning pages and you'll get some really good instructions on how to do this. You could do a meditation. 5 minutes are enough, 10 minutes are enough. So in the article is, I'm linking a page to get you started and give you a couple of suggestions. There are also apps. And some of them have free meditations. There's usually a paid version where you get more of a selection, but there's usually a few that you can start with. What else could you do? Exercise. I always exercise in the morning, and this is extremely beneficial. I never thought I would do this, by the way, because I exercise at any time of the day except the morning, but now I'm a complete convert. I've recommended this book before, and if you haven't read it, read it now. Spark by John J. Ratey. It really explains why this is such a good idea and how it literally makes you smarter and actually is effective against all sorts of mental and physical illnesses. And what else? Body care, obviously. I mean, the basic form of this is having a shower and getting dressed, but you could also, if you take the time to maybe put on some nice body lotion or something, just care for yourself, care for your body. Breakfast, having a healthy breakfast, or even breakfast at all, or maybe breakfast with the family, a little bit of time of breathing space in the morning with your loved ones or on your own, whatever you choose. And you can plan your day. There's something I'd really recommend. Look over your calendar, plan what you're going to do today. Remember any scheduled appointments or anything so that there's no nasty, stressful surprises later in the day. And you can set an intention for the day. An intention of how you would like to feel that day, what your mood should be, and then work towards that with the rest of what you're doing in your morning routine, the meditation or the morning pages or whatever. Start by setting an intention. How would I like to feel today? So these are just ideas. You can pick and choose one or two or all of them, and whatever works for you. Just write that down on your piece of paper, what you would like to do. That is your task number 1. Task number 2 is fitting your routine, your new morning routine, into your schedule. So you've written down these things. So you look at what you've written down from task number 1 and check whether there's anything you'd like to add, or maybe something that is not so important after all. So finalize this list that you made in task number 1. And then calculate how much time each of these things takes. 5 minutes meditation is 5 minutes, 20 minutes working out, or 20 minutes exercise or whatever. Morning pages, breakfast, just add everything up and how much time your morning routine would take in total. And then you take the time in the day where you leave the house or go to work or get started, and you count backwards from that time. So if you leave the house at 8:30, then you count back an hour or two, or however long your morning routine is. It can be 10 minutes or 15 minutes, by the way. Morning routines can be very short. There was a time in my life when I had to get up really early already, so I didn't have much time for a morning routine, and I did a mini 15-minute routine. That is totally possible, and it's not worth any less. Now, if you find that when you've counted back, and that time that you start on is obviously the time when you set your alarm. Now, if this time to set your alarm to wake up is super early, and you really don't want to do this, or you think you couldn't, or you would be too tired, then you have two options. First of all, take something out of your morning routine. So go over that again and see what you can drop from it. So that'll bring the time that you have to wake up to, at a more reasonable hour. Or you could look at what time you need to go to bed in order to get enough sleep and still wake up at that time. So try and get your evening set up accordingly. So you'll have to be a bit flexible, but the basic idea of task 2 is to calculate the length of your morning routine, find the time when you leave the house or get started, and then count back from that time by the length of your morning routine to the time where you have to set your alarm clock at. Task number 3, as usual, is to let me know. Hit the reply button on the email that you got the link to the video with, and let me know what your takeaway from this video is. Do you already have a morning routine? If not, are you going to implement one? How long is it going to be? What are you going to do for your morning routine? I'd love to know. So please write to me. I will always answer every email, I promise. And if you didn't get the link to the video in an email, that means you're not part of the Wild Spirits community yet, and you should join us. Go to wildspiritscoaching.com and fill in a little form there. You will get 1 email per week. It's 100% spam free. And you will get extra information, extra articles, columns, some things that I only share in email. And every now and then you get an exclusive offer that is exclusive only to my subscribers. So go to wildspiritscoaching.com and sign up. You can also Google Wild Spirits Coaching. That'll get you to the website as well. Thanks for watching.